Hottinger here with Coldwell Banker Residential Real Estate, and today I wanted to make a quick video for you guys in regards to selecting the right list price for your home, and I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to do that. So the first one I have for you is you got to understand what the current market is bearing. In order to do this, you can get with your realtor. You can do the research on your own. There's so many outlets now on online that give you access to recent sales data. You can check it out on Zillow, Realtor.com. But usually you can have your realtor do this. It's very easy for them to pull it out of the MLS system and take a look at it. You're going to be looking for sales 3 to 6 months back. If you have a unique home, you may need to go a little further back, maybe 12 months, and just try to get, the recent sales for comparable homes. And the next point is it needs to be in a pretty close proximity to your the home that you're selling or the property that you're selling. If you can get something on the same street, that would be awesome. But sometimes you can't always do that. So you want to, get some comparable homes from within the same community, if it's a gated community. If it's not a gated community, within the same geographical location, within a few miles, just to keep the comps more in line with one another, apples to apples type of thing. So once you find those sales, what you're going to want to do is get a baseline number. Now this is not the number that you're going to list at probably. It may not be the number that you're going to sell at. But the baseline number will be derived off the dollar per square foot of the comps that you found that have sold. Now obviously that number is not going to factor in a lot of the things like upgrades you may have done, or maybe some of the comps have something over the property that you're selling. So you're going to want to factor these things in after you get your baseline number. And things like, maybe you put a new roof on your home and some of the comps don't have a new roof, or some of the comps have a pool and you don't have a pool. So you may have to add or subtract off of the baseline number, but you want to draw up that baseline number just so you get a landscape of what's going on and you know that you're in the ballpark at least. Another note about doing the comps: now if your home is so unique that there is no comps at all, there is another option besides the dollar per square foot analysis, which you won't be able to do because there is no comps. You can do a reproduction cost evaluation and go from there. So what would it cost to reproduce the home that you're living in now in today's market? And you can kind of draw a parallel there and see, kind of where you need to be as far as the pricing. Now, that's not really a normal situation. That happens a lot on some higher end homes. I just recently sold a home that was in a gated community, but completely unique to anything that was there. There was no comps at all for the home, so we had to do a reproduction cost in today's market. And we ended up getting the deal done. The seller actually had to take a bit of a loss. They had about almost $3 million into the home, and they're actually selling the home for today's reproduction value, just under $2 million. So it was a bit of a loss, but that is how we derived the number that they agreed to, and the buyer did agree to as well. Okay, the next point, secret number 2: list your property aggressively right from the start. This is a big mistake that I see a lot with sellers. They come on the market and it's the let's see what happens type of attitude, so they'll just come in at some inflated price just to see if they're going to snag some buyer. Now I'm not going to say you can't ever sell your home for more than what the market is bearing. It has happened, and it can happen again obviously, but it's not giving you your best chance of selling. I mean, we sold one home that some people came in, they actually paid almost $1 million more than what the market was bearing because the guy's wife had to have the home. Now that stuff can happen, but is that your normal run-of-the-mill way things go? And the answer is no. So you want to set yourself up, in line to have a good chance at selling your property. And this all starts with, are you really serious about selling your home? See, people that come on the market and they list their home and say, well, let's see what I can get. To me, they're not really serious about moving on and selling the home. So one, determine if you're very serious about selling the home. If you're not, don't even list the home. Because really what happens is, realtors, when you hire a realtor, they are spending money, if you have a good one anyway, they are spending money out of their own pocket to market your home. So not many realtors want to take on listings that really don't have much of a chance at selling. Now, what you may get is some of these newer realtors that are just getting going and they want to get listings, and they'll tell you, yes, I can get you this price, when there's no way they're getting you that price unless you get the situation which I talked about. Someone just has to have it. So pricing the home properly will incentivize a good seasoned realtor to want to work with you and spend his marketing dollars to effectively move your property in the shortest amount of time possible and getting you as much as possible for the home, whatever the market is bearing at that time. Okay? So the other point about listing right from the start is that most of the listing activity is going to come in the first 12 weeks of the listing. That's because it's fresh in the MLS, it's fresh on the internet and all the sites, and everyone is getting hit with the updates that it's a new listing and things like that. So there's an influx of activity if you're priced right. If you come into the market pricing with the let's see how it goes attitude, you are going to miss out on a good bit of traffic, and no buyers in this day and age are looking at really overpriced listings. And the reason why is because with the internet the way it is, these buyers know what properties are selling for now. I mean, I have buyers come in, they come in with a list of homes that they want to see, not what I sent them sometimes. So they're very educated, they're very privy to the values and things that have sold. So you're not really going to pull the wool over anyone's eyes here. So it's best to get a good analysis done, get your home price right from the beginning, price it aggressively, and if there is some comparables that are on the same block or the same street or in the same neighborhood or the same community, and the homes are very comparable, not much difference, you want to beat these listings out. I don't care if you come in $5,000 below them, you want to stand out first in any type of MLS search, in any type of internet search. You want to be the first one that jumps up. So jump in front of these people, bite the bullet, come down $5,000 more, and put your listing in the first position out of comparable properties. You're going to get a lot more traffic, and you should secure a sale a lot quicker. And then a side note on this matter is on the listing price. You have to factor in now, not everybody buys a house cash. Now, some people that buy cash, you may get a little more than what the market is bearing, but you have to keep in mind, people doing financing. When a bank does a finance deal, they order an appraisal. So your home is going to have to appraise for whatever the market is bearing. So if your home is appraising at $350 and you're trying to get $425, the buyer is not getting financing on that property. A bank will not do financing on something that does not appraise, just in case someone defaults on the loan. They want to be in a position where they can sell that home. They don't want to be in the hole for $125,000 or $100,000, whatever the difference is. So you have to consider that if you're going to price above what the market is bearing at the current time, you are boxing out all people that are doing financing, and you're only looking for a cash buyer at that time. So that's really going to dilute your chances of selling the property. So again, pricing right from the beginning, and you're going to have a lot better chance of acquiring a buyer or some more showings and getting a buyer that can do cash or financing. And then the last point, secret number 3, are emotions. I see people get very, very emotional about selling their home or property. I get it, it's something that you live in, you've made memories there. But in this instance, you got to put the pride aside. Get realistic on what the market is bearing, and really you gotta keep the emotions out when you're trying to do the list price. Okay, so the emotional attachment to a property leads to an inflated list price and usually no sale, and then the realtor gets mad at the seller gets mad at the realtor that they're not doing their job. The realtor's upset because he's spending marketing dollars and nothing is happening. So the best course of action is just try to keep the emotions aside, get a firm thought in your head that you are ready to sell the property, and list the thing aggressively. Okay? And you got to keep in mind, this is the last point, keep in mind when selling the property, what is the end goal? The end goal is that you're wanting to move on to the next phase of your life, and there's people around you that are trying to help you do that, i.e. a realtor. And there's other people on the other side of the transaction that they're looking to get from one phase to another phase in their life as well, and that's getting into your new home at a fair price. So there's many people involved in the transaction, and you just got to make up your mind. I mean, are you serious about moving on to the next phase of your life? So if you implement these 3 tips or secrets, you can have a lot easier time selling your home. So that's it for now. I'll be making more videos on how to effectively move your home in the shortest amount of time and with the most money that you can make at the current time. If you have any questions, you can check out our Facebook page. I could always be contacted at 386-237-0097. And that's it for now, guys. Thanks.